Thank you for purchasing this class. Today we're going to do 2 tiles using the basic Zentangle method. The first thing that we need to do is to be grateful for the things that we have. Give thanks to the Lord, for He is good. His love endures forever. Psalm 118:1. Find gratitude and thankfulness for all that God has given you. The breath you breathe, the life you live, even the problems you face. The will to participate in this class and the desire to create, the tools that you are using, He is responsible for each of these things and so many more. So take time to feel gratitude. Gratitude for the pen and the paper. It doesn't matter if you have a Zentangle tile or not. You can do this on any kind of paper that you want to do it on. The next thing we need to remember is to relax. Listen to the sounds around you. Listen to the music in the background. Take some deep breaths and think of the reasons you want to do this. You're not required to be perfect, and you should not be worried about what other people think. Just be in this moment, ready to draw, and allow your talents to shine through. Remember to breathe. The first thing we do is we take a pencil and we mark a dot in each of the 4 corners of the tile. Many people are afraid of a blank piece of paper. This helps us not to be afraid. Now, take your pencil and draw a line connecting those dots. This will make a border. The lines do not have to be straight. In Zentangle, we use a string to draw sections so that we can have sections to fill on the tile. This first one is going to be a Z. We start on one side, go up to the top, go down to the bottom, and over to the other side. If you look carefully, you can see the Z. Now we're going to pick up our pen. Find a section, it doesn't matter which one of them you choose, and start drawing half circles around the edge of the border. Don't draw them really small, but don't draw them too big. Make sure you space them out. Fill in each of the circles completely with ink. Continue this all the way around that section. Now it's time to aura, or draw a line around each of those circles. Draw a small line close to the circle and continue to do that all the way around. Turn your tile as you go. It makes it easier. You don't have to move your hand in weird positions when you are drawing if you turn the tile. Next, continue to aura all the way around. When you come to one that is already in your way, just go behind it, like the line disappears behind the line that is there. Continue to aura all the way around. Keep doing this until the whole section is filled. When you come to a line, go behind it. Try to keep your spaces even. You can see that I didn't, but that doesn't mean it's not any good. It just means that it has more character. Take your time and remember to breathe. This is supposed to be relaxing, not stressful. When you get to where there's really no way to make a line, you can put a dark spot there, filling in that space. To shade this, you can either shade the outside of the board around the edge of the tangle, or you can make lines, little dark lines, where these creases are formed, like this, and then it makes them kind of jump out from the page, like they have depth, like they're falling back into the center of that space. The next tangle that we are going to do is holly ball. Pick whichever space you want to do it in and draw a line from one side of that space to the other. Then aura that space, or that line. Then draw another line, crossing behind the line you just made. As this tangle progresses, it will begin to look like bands stretched across the section. Continue to draw lines that go behind the ones drawn before. Continue this process until you have filled up the space as much as you want. Remember to breathe and relax. There's no reason to try and be perfect. When you're shading this one, try and make it look like if the sun was shining from some direction and casting a shadow on one side of the band. Remember to go behind with your shadows also. Or, like this one, you would go over the top of this band and this band because it is on top of them. Take the tortillon or blending stump or your finger and blend those lines out just a little bit. Sometimes I like to just take my tortillon afterwards and kind of make it a little darker in the center of the tile, the spaces made by the bands. This next tangle is fairly easy. You're going to make a large zigzag in one of the spaces you have left. Vary the lengths of the triangles or the angled bits. After you've completed that, then you're going to aura that line on both sides, unless you want a variation and only do one side, which is possible also. This is called static. To shade this one, you can go around the edge like this, and you can make a little line right where the triangle or the angle is. It helps to fill it in a little bit. Then just smooth that out with your tortillon. Don't forget to take your time, relax, and breathe. The last tangle on this tile is a grid pattern. You can use the edges of the border to help you make the grid, or you can draw them completely different. It's up to you. Don't make your spaces too large or too small. After you finish drawing your grid, then you're going to round each corner of the grid. And when you do this, it's going to make a triangle. Or a diamond, sorry. You can do it on every one, or you could do it every other one. So since I did this one, I would have done this one and this one instead of doing this one or this one. But on this, I'm going to be doing all of them. Shading on this one, I also shade around the edges. of the border and string, but I put a little bit of a shadow in one corner to make it look puffy, like it is, 3D. And the first tile is completed. After you're finished, you need to draw your chop. A chop is your initials that you'll put on the front. You'll sign it on the back, but you'll still put your initials on the front. And I make mine in this way. I make a rectangle. Then I put a V and a K in it. You don't always have to use the same one, but as you work in Zentangle and draw Zentangles, your chop will become part of how people know whose art it is. Now you can turn it over and sign your name. Put the date so that you can know when you did it. I always put my chop again, and I put a smiley face. You can also put the names of the tangles so you'll know which ones you did. First we did crescent, moon, then we did holly ball, then we did static, and lastly we did floors. Take time to give God thanks for allowing you to do this today. I'm sure all your art is beautiful. As we start this new tile, be thankful for all your tools, your paper, and the time to do this. The first thing we need to do, like with the other one, is put dots in the corners. Then draw lines to connect those dots. The string for this tile is going to be a line across somewhere like this, and then create a V on top of that like this. Now take your pencil or your pen, and in this section right here we're going to do Xander. Xander is looks like a bundle of twigs. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to make lines that look like they're going around a bundle of twigs. With sections that are kind of large. Then go back and make little C caps on the end of each of those lines, both sides. When you've done that, then you're going to draw lines that represent the twigs. So you draw a line and you kind of skip somewhere in the middle of the line so that in the middle you will end up with a highlight for the twigs. You won't do this with every line, but in the middle there will be a space that represents a highlight. Now just draw straight lines to finish out this side. That last one can go, don't make it go past the edge. Don't make your lines go past that edge where that C curve is. Then turn your tile. And if you want your highlights to be a little bit bigger, you can make 1 or 2 more spaces. But you don't have to. You can just draw straight lines now. To finish out this tangle. This tangle we will highlight just like Hollibah with a shadow on one of the sides of the bands. And then you can do it a little bit on each side like this, with not adding more graphite. Just use what's already on the tortillon or on your finger or whatever you're using to spread it. And don't forget this side up here. That's Xander. The next tangle we're going to do is really easy to do. All you do is you start drawing lines. They can be a little curvy, and then they're varying lengths of lines all the way across the top, but you finish those out like it's a dotted line. This tangle is called mist. So it's supposed to represent, or it represents, vines with dew dropping off of them, or rain, or whatever. You just make the lengths varying. They can be really long or really short, and you fill up this whole section like that. When you get down here in the corner, you can just draw lines to finish it out. Shading this one, you could do real light lines following each one of those if you wanted to, but that would be time consuming. So I'm just going to shade using the border and string as my places to shade, like it's recessed behind something. The next tangle we're going to do is called poke root. Now, when you draw a string, you don't always have to stay inside the string. This side is already drawn in, so I will have to stay on this side of the string, but I can go outside the border if I want to. And with this tangle, that's easy to do, and it makes it look really pretty. So with poke root, you draw a stem. It can be one line like this, or it can be two lines. Then you make a little frowny face on it, or upside down smile. And then you make a circle to make it look like a berry on a stem. And you keep doing that to fill the area. Remember that if there's one already there and you're drawing another one, go behind. So it looks like that cherry or that berry is behind the one in front of it. And like with this, I would make it go behind that section that's already done. You fill in the section as much as you want to. When you shade it just like hollybaw, making it so that it looks like there's shadow. In the spaces where there is no berry, you can make it look dark. And then make a shadow around the berries to make them stand out. A little bit of darkness where the berry is attached to the stem. The last tangle we're going to do on this tile is called poke leaf. It is done the same way as poke root. The only difference is it's a leaf shape instead of a circle. So you draw your stem and then you make a leaf shape. And you fill in this section with this pattern. You shade poke leaf just like you do poke root. Go back and make some finishing touches if you would like. Then add your chalk. tile over and sign your name. Put the date. And write the names of the tangles you did. Xander, Mist, Poke Root, and Poke Leaf. Take time to be thankful for your art you just created and give God the thanks for allowing you the ability to do it. You have made some wonderful art, and the tiles you should be shared with others. I would like to see your work also. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. 1 Chronicles 16:34. Thank you for participating in this class. I hope I was able to impart some knowledge and make it fun. Thank you for watching. I pray God bless all of you.